Hey, everybody. Hey, I had a question from our classmate in Julia Balaz's Quantum Soul Guidance Practitioners course. The question was, what do you do if you've never used a pendulum? Because half of what we're doing in the class as we learn how to read these incredible galactic starseed soul journey reports is half of it is using our intuition. And so in most schools across the world, we're taught to live in the head, right? So we train up here, we grow our brains, we're tested on our memory skills, but it's all rather up here in the head. And so intuition, however, is a whole other way to find out what is true and what is not. It's more like this navigational compass. Some people, if you study what's called human design, will understand how to get their yes/no answers based on their profile. But I'm going to move right over into some tools because in Julia's class we get, oh gosh, I think there's over 30 charts of a wheel, and you use what's called a pendulum. This is a pendulum. It's basically it can have many different looks, but it's a weight at the end of a string, okay? And for the longest time, I didn't know how to use this. And so there's actually what's called a Dowser's Conference that happens one year on the East Coast of the United States and the next year on the West Coast of the United States. So I had a neighbor where I used to live, and she would ask me, hey, do you want to go to this Dowser's Conference? And I'm like, what's that? In the old days, dowsers were the ones that you'd call to find water. Let's say you're a farmer and you bought a plot of land. Well, where are you going to sink a well? Forget farmer. What if you're a homesteader? How are you going to find your well? So in dowsing, people used to go get, I think it's willow tree. They would get 2 branches and they would wait for the 2 branches, the willow branches, to cross. Now, this is not all woo-woo. This is science-based too, because why would the willow branches cross when it goes over water? I'm not a geophysicist, but you can always Google that. So the story of dowsing and how do we use our intuition, the pendulum and these dowsing rods, this is called an L rod because look, it makes the shape of an L. And let me show you. Hit myself. Okay, so an L rod has this little end where it can spin, okay? And I'm not trying to do it, but I will sometimes when I use these, I'm just holding it, try not to hit myself. And the thing will help me balance and it will show me yes, no. Now I know some of you might be saying, oh, she's pushing it. No, it just has its own life of its own. So it is not the Ouija board, okay? So that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. Where there's fear, there's a block, and then you can't really tap into intuition if you're like so afraid, like. But if you say, okay, I'm going to calm myself down, do some breathing, get some meditation, say you have a perfect prayer. Some people do a protection prayer, some people light candles. I'm of the personal belief that as our light bodies are growing, and this is reaffirmed by my friends at what's called the Stargate experience.com up in Mount Shasta, that now in this age of light, we are such strong light beings that we don't have to necessarily do all the protections that we used to do. Now, I know some people are going to be really upset when I said that, but hey, things aren't the way they used to be anymore. So with pure intention and being lighter and calling in the light, I know that I am protected. So we can just visualize this white ball around you. And some people put a mirror ball to bounce off any negative energy. But I'm looking and holding space that first you center and clear. Now, going back to Julia, she uses the pendulum, okay? And For mine, it has a cute little ball on the end. You can go to most any metaphysical store or even on Etsy now, and you can just Google pendulum, okay? And what you do over the piece of paper is say, okay, show me yes. And if you are clear and centered and not trying to eyeball and make it move, this will show me yes. Okay, now I'll ask the pendulum, which I'm calling on really my higher self, show me no. And now it's moving in the opposite direction. Show me a maybe, because maybe is very interesting. So it's showing me a circular motion for maybe. Thank you, thank you. And then I always go like this and I give my pendulum a little kiss, because this is almost like an extension of me. It's like having another finger. Okay, I don't want to get too weird, but I'm going to tell you. What this is a physical manifestation, a pendulum, to help tap into my own divine higher guidance. It's my higher self. I'm not inviting or engaging all these other people or creatures or aliens. I'm just tapping into my higher self. Because as a soul in 3D right now, I know that I'm part of my own inner guidance system. Okay, so that's pendulum. If you want to Google how to use a pendulum, go for it. But I can also, when I'm holding the ball, I'll say, okay, pendulum or higher self, clear all that which is no longer needed so that I am more in balance, and stop when it is complete. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My heart feels thank you, thank you, thank you. And stop when you are complete. So obviously there's a lot that still needs to be worked on for me. Okay, I'm just gonna shorten it. Thank you. All right, so I can do the same thing. I'm just gonna use one of my L rods. I can hold it horizontally to the earth. I can connect it to my heart and I'll say, okay, when I wait for it to be at a noon position, boom, there's noon, show me yes. And see how it swings that way? And show me a no. Show me a no. Okay, it's bobbing a little bit. Are you a little camera shy? Okay, that's a no, thank you. And show me a maybe. Okay, so it stays in the center when it's a maybe. It moves to my right for a yes. It moves to my left for a no. Okay, now bring me into balance. Completely stop when I'm in balance. Okay, my dogs don't like hearing that. Okay, so not the right thing to do because this might take a while. Obviously, I need to stay in balance. But there's two more techniques I want to show you how to tap into your intuition. Yes, Sophie. Okay, some of you may not know what this is. I went to that dowsing conference. It's called the West Coast Dowsing Conference. And it happens at the University of California, Santa Cruz, every summer. In fact, it's coming up in July. Okay, I hear you. Okay, this is called, my friends, a bobber. And it came from Europe. And I thought, what the heck is a bobber? Okay, hello, bobber. Bobber's bobbing. Okay, so a bobber, he can do the same thing, but the woman who was speaking said that she can get faster yes, no's with her bobber. Okay, you see, I'm not trying to bob it. It's just doing its thing. Okay, it's bobbing. Okay, I'm gonna ask it, okay, bobber, please. I'm gonna connect you to my higher self. And I know it's a little bent and don't get weird, but okay, bobber, show me, I'm actually gonna hold it upright or closer to me. Here we go, that feels better. Show me a yes. Okay, so you're bobbing a little that way. Show me a no. Oh, wow, you've gone circular. That's your no? Okay. Show me a, thank you very much, bobber. Show me a maybe. Show me a maybe. I need it a little more clear. Wow. I think you're trying to reverse your position or you're coming to a stop. I see. So maybe a stop. Show me yes again so I'm clear. Okay. See how subtle this is? You know, if any of my family members, what are you doing, Mom? Well, I'm playing with my tools. Okay, so if you don't want to be this auspicious with a bobber, L rod, or even a pendulum to tap into your guidance, here's a more discreet way, especially if you're in the grocery store asking, is this product beneficial to my body at this time? Okay, so 2 fingers, you make little O's with them. Okay, and so when we put the O's together, we form a ring. This is like muscle testing. So for those of you who already know it, you can stop the video, right? But for those of you who don't, I will ask, I'm going to clear myself and get myself centered. Like, show me a yes, show me a no. Show me a yes, see how yes is tight, show me a no. The minute I say no, it opens. Okay, now this is not 100% fallible, okay, or infallible. It all, it's a little bit like you got to learn to trust when it feels right, and also recognize, one, if you're tired, if you're dehydrated, do not try and tap into your higher self if you're dehydrated or tired. Those are the 2 big markers. Also, pay attention to the other energy around you. Like my little puppy was barking. So, you know, maybe I need to put her somewhere a little further away, only because the energy gets a little mixed. I know that this might seem like the weirdest video, but again, someone asked me, how do I tap into my intuition? I've never used a pendulum, or I'm not sure how to use a pendulum. There is so much also on Google and YouTube if you say, how to use a pendulum. But in the end, it really comes down to you understanding that we're really tapping into our higher self, and we're trying to clear our energy, clear our space. So before you do a quantum soul guidance reading for somebody, yeah, Julia goes step by step on some of the things that we can do ahead of time to basically get ourselves centered, clear, and ready to see the magic that comes through these incredible reports. Okay, well, hope that didn't confuse anybody. Again, I'm going to go play with my bobber. Oh, there is one caveat. Please don't ask yes, no questions about people without their permission. And I don't know if you should really ask death dates. You know, you get these things and you hear, oh, is so-and-so going to die tomorrow? You know, and so the future really is malleable. There's so many different, this is where the beauty of free will comes in. So if everything's malleable, there's a potential that's moving this way, but it may at the last minute shift over here. So allowing for miracles to happen, allowing for your thinking to actually be more expansive. So that's why looking at things from a quantum soul perspective, for me, on an Ascension Playground, that feels right. I know this was a fast brush through, but anyone else got a bobber or L rods that don't hit them in the head? Okay, Sophie. Or work with pendulums, or know how to do the muscle testing for yes, no. There's even a body one where you could say yes is leaning forward and no is back. You become the human pendulum. Okay, puppers. So I have 2 corgis and they're always like, it's time to hydrate. Okay, well, I've been chattering too much. Till next time on the Ascension Playground. Have fun in Julia's class if you're enrolled. Bye.